Alright, hey guys, today we are finally going to do system test 78. It is the 1st of July, and I was working on the system for quite a while since it's kind of going under a rebuild, but so many changes happened when I was gone. So first, let's go over the panel. So this panel was first developed in March of this year, and it received many major changes this summer. So it has this label now. It has the KEFA logo. And it's the Relaypad series. It's a prototype panel, meaning that I'm gonna be making actually usable panels, but on like the PCB with the same series. So yeah. So over here we have mostly icons for showing events and stuff. So like we have a walk test button over here. We have a silence button over here with a silence icon. A fire icon over here which represents an actual alarm. Another silence icon which represents that the alarms have been silenced. A yellow LED would illuminate over there. And then the walk test mode, which gets triggered by the walk test button. It's a blue LED. We have a label over here saying please shut off system power before servicing. Over here we have the AC power LED, the trouble LED, the acknowledging button, and the reset button, which is represented by a reloading button. And you may notice that there are actually no terminals outside this panel, so which is weird. So like, how is this panel even secured when it's not in an enclosure? Well, I'm gonna be adding a key switch to it so that it can unlock or lock the controls. So let's take a look at what's inside the panel. So as you can see, the front door opens and goes towards the right instead of the left, because it's built that way. So over here we have the main board on the actual door. Usually the main board is inside the enclosure, but it's on this part. And then over here we have the terminal board. So there will be one 24-volt dry contact here. It's resettable. Over here we have like the terminals for the power, the constant DC power. And then over here we have a terminal for the batteries. Right now I have no backup battery connected to this, but this panel supports that. And this panel also supports annunciators, but there's no final annunciator that is ready. So that's all. And also there's no piezo on this panel for the moment, because it's kind of annoying. Part of the main board that manages the sounding of the piezo, it's not functioning, so I had to remove the piezo. So the acknowledge button is useless for now. Before we start the test, we have my Firelight BG12L. I kind of redid the wiring of the system of this portion. So this wire is actually for the fan shutdown relay, and then this also leads there. This is kind of a junction box for it, and then it just works the same way. For our notification devices in this room, we have my Relock RSS-24-MCW, and it's set to 15 candela. Over here for the initiating device, we have my Faraday RSDT bar, and beside it we have my Relock AS-24-MCCH high candela variant. The horn is set to code 3 low volume, and the strobe is set to 115 candela, I believe. Both alarms today. And by the way, as you notice, there's no alarm for the extra room because it's been removed. But today the notification devices will be synchronized by the Relock SM sync module. And it's wired to the panel. So let's start with a walk test of the Firelight BG12L. Not doing anything to the RSDT bar. Alright, so that was a small demo of the walk test. Now we'll reset the system. and we're gonna do a full alarm. There's the Wheelock RSS. Wheelock AS. The strobe is really noisy because it's high candela. Let's silence the alarms. Audible silence. Everything is on 2-wire. Oh, this is so bright. I want to trade this Wheelock AS for a normal one because it's too bright. We'll reset the pull station. Reset the panel. You heard that little click in the fan shutdown relay. I'm gonna keep the fan on. Okay, so for this pull station, I'll be pulling it. And resetting it. Alright, everything has been silenced. We'll be taking a look at the audible silence. The fan is shut down. Both strobes are synced. And we'll reset it and we'll see the fan turn back on. Yep, the fan is back on. One bug in this panel is that when you press the silence button while everything is normal, the system would reactivate. But in the silence mode. Yeah. That's pretty cool. So yeah, guys, that's an update on my panel. If you may have not noticed, but I also added the flyback diodes to every single relay on the panel, so that it could protect the power supply from voltage spikes. There was a lot of voltage spikes happening without the diodes, but now they've been cleared when I added the diodes. So yeah, guys, that was System Test 78 and an overview of my new an overview of the modifications on this panel. Bye, guys.